Okay. So they want to talk history, and they think that my history is what's going to condemn me to prison for the rest of my life because I have such a horrible history. The police are going to find out what a terrible past I have, and that's going to be it for me. So let's talk a little bit about this terrible past. Because what they're going to find is that I'm the only one of my siblings who graduated high school. I'm the only one in my immediate family, actually. Both my mother and father dropped out. Both of my siblings dropped out. My older sibling, the reason she stopped going to school was because she was pregnant and had gotten in trouble so many times that they were going to send her to juvenile. And she didn't want to go to the detention school. So they just let her pull out of school and have children instead. Those children, there should be documents that the police would find. Those children were taken away repeatedly. They were given to my parents for a while. They were put in foster for a little while. One of them was fully lost. I have a niece that is no longer a member of our family because the state took her. She also has no nerve endings because her mother was on drugs, and all of her children were born with something a little bit off. They're going to find my father committed suicide. They're going to find his drug problems because he had been to prison for meth. They're going to find the fact that my mother and father were arrested for prostitution just a couple of days after my little brother was born severely handicapped. Oh, they're going to find a lot. They're going to find a whole lot. They're going to find my mom's alcohol problems. Oh, that'll be fun. Because there may not be a lot of arrests, but there should be records of when the police came out to speak to them. The times when my drunken mother would grab a baby so that the police wouldn't take her to jail. Because they won't hurt you if you're holding a baby. Doesn't even have to be your baby. The things I learned growing up. Yeah, they would find a lot if they actually looked into my past. But they would also find that I didn't follow in their steps. Because again, they're going to find I'm the only one in my family to have graduated high school. I'm the only one that didn't pop out a whole bunch of kids. I'm the only one that hasn't been married multiple times. I'm the only one willing to acknowledge the mental illness in our family. I'm the only one willing to medicate that illness. I'm the only one in California trying to better my life. I'm the only one doing that. The rest of my family is actively working to push me to hurt myself, to be unmedicated, or to be imprisoned for crimes that they're accusing me of, that are possibly just their paranoid delusions, because paranoid schizophrenia runs in our family and the rest of my family doesn't acknowledge it, and therefore could be just making paranoid statements that others believe. I'm medicated now. I'm the only person in my head. I don't know for a fact that I can say that about everybody in my family. And the way that they are reacting to, because all of this started because I published an anonymous book, a book with 0 names. The only person that cares about a book that doesn't have any names is a paranoid motherfucker that knows that that book is about them. And my family wouldn't be so paranoid if they would address the mental health conditions that are genetic in our bloodline. My great-grandmother spent the majority of her adult life in a mental hospital. She died later in a nursing home. My own grandmother had some very peculiar beliefs that were never looked further into, because at the time she was old and it was just rude to accuse an old person of having mental health issues. But my grandmother thought she was psychic, fully believed she was psychic. And I sometimes wonder if that's not because she had her own voices and they were right enough times to make her think that she was psychic. Because my voices were often right. They were right about my family. All those years, they told me my family hated me and were plotting and conspiring against me. They were right. And I only know that because my family confessed it, confirmed it. Every single time my little sister messages me, she tells me to kill myself. I don't need more confirmation that the voices were right. That's dangerous. I don't want the voices to be right. But if the ones in my head could be right, the ones in my family's head could also be right. And that can lead you to believe some strange things. A lot of what my family comes out with is not true. I don't know where they're thinking that I have weapons, and they have a video of me using a weapon against my siblings. We didn't video things when we were kids, and I never used a weapon against anybody. So I don't know what this video is. I must have been in a blackout. And I don't remember it. I don't remember the majority of what they're accusing me of and what they're saying they're going to put me in prison for. But the thing is that if I go to prison, I'll get a trial, and it will be a jury trial, and it will matter that all of these things run in my family. It will matter that all of my family members have done this shit, that they have low IQ, not graduated from school, that they lose their kids to the system, that they're drug addicts and that they go to jail for things like that, that my parents were prostitutions and pimps and meth heads. These things would matter to a jury because they are the things that created the person that I am now and the person that I was in 2009. So I'm not scared of the detectives doing their due diligence and getting an accurate history of my family. My family should be scared of an accurate history of our family being out there, since the whole reason they're trying to push me to kill myself is to stop an anonymous book that was a partially inaccurate history of our family, because I don't know everything, and some things that I do know aren't accurate because they keep pushing and pushing and pushing to make the inaccurate anonymous book go away, and they're going to force the accuracies of our family to the public, and that's really going to piss them off because they're not going to like what comes to light.